Yes, hello, good morning. This is Daniel Fitzgerald. I'm going to post another video this morning. A couple of things. I have sent several emails to my attorney this morning. Today is Thursday. It is August, a minute now. Look here. It's August 11th. I will tell the public, you're not getting my videos. The views, there hasn't been any comments and no approval ratings on my videos. And I find the numbers of people that are able to view them to be unusually small. I contacted Simon Wiesenthal Center yesterday and spoke to my friend, the receptionist there. She told me that she tried to go in and look at the video. She couldn't find them. Now, I know that she wrote down the instructions perfectly, but I asked her to try again and let me know, or I'll call them and she'll let me know. Okay, because I need to know if somebody's blocking the outside world from seeing my videos, because this is going to go to the Supreme Court as well. It's not you. I don't think it's YouTube, outside of the fact that YouTube, made it difficult for people to get at them because they don't appear on YouTube's main screen when you turn it on. So that's a difficulty. So this is the reason why some YouTubers have to personally go and contact people to let them know where they can see the videos, which I've done. So, but anyway, I wanted to express to the public that I spoke to my lawyer yesterday, ex-lawyer, excuse me, I have to rephrase that, because I wanted to know. I was expecting a certain response from my lawyer and my brother after I called my brother, and I felt that I needed my brother absolutely to contact my former attorney because there was a chance he might not. So in order to ensure that he would contact my attorney after I contacted him was to tell him that I fired my attorney. Now, I knew that he would want confirmation on that from my attorney. And I also knew there would be additional discussion threads between the two, my attorney and my brother, okay? And it was those discussion threads, based on what I said to my brother in messages to him, that I was looking for something particular. I was trying to get something on my lawyer and him, okay? And I did. And basically, I'll explain again what that was before I tell you about the next thing. Basically, I told my brother, I asked my brother in the messages, why did you recant the agreement? The 50-50 split that you had apparently agreed to with your attorney and my attorney. I asked him that question. Surely he would give me the reason. I was also looking for something else, and I'm happy that he answered the phone after his derogatory text message. I'm happy he answered the phone when I called back, because I really needed to hear his voice, and there's a reason for that, and I will explain. But anyway, I asked him why you agreed to a split. I have no reasons given to me by my attorney as to why you walked away from the split, and apparently you bailed out on an attorney. So that was one thing, okay? So I also told him that his 2016 will that he's been going around with is illegal. Simply because I wanted him to know. I mean, I already knew that he knew it was illegal, right? The people that he went to didn't know because he didn't tell them about the Bonifant will. He never told them. So my lawyer knew about the Bonifant will all along. My brother knew. My lawyer originally contacted my brother, told him about the Bonifant will. So my brother knew about the Bonifant will months ago when my lawyer was talking to him. And he knew at that point, my brother knew that his will was illegal. It doesn't take much of an education to read the two wills and see that my brother's will is illegal. So he knew it was illegal. So I wanted to, the reason why I needed to hear his voice was because I needed to be able to determine, okay, if what my lawyer stated about my brother agreeing to a split was true. I needed to know if that was true, okay? And there's two ways to tell. One way is by my brother admitting it, okay, or just saying to me, well, I changed my mind. Too bad, don't call me again. You effer. I mean, that's what the language he likes to use. Or I could tell by his tone and tenor. Okay? If there was agreement made, okay, I'd be able to tell by his tone and tenor and the kinds of things he would say on the phone, and I'd be able to make the determination if there was ever any kind of agreement at all. Now, based on his tone and tenor on the telephone, my position is Mr. Mullowney lied. There was never an agreement with him. My brother would have turned around and said to me on the phone, well, your lawyer did this, you and your lawyer did this and that and the other thing to me. He would have said that, right? Or he would have said, well, your lawyer is seeking a certificate for sole executorship. So what I'm saying to the public here is my lawyer has a lot that he's going to answer to, okay? He has a lot of things to answer for. This lawyer is truly a mystery man. He does not operate openly with his client, me. He's doing a lot of things, has done a lot of things, and only kept them to himself. Okay? So that's one thing, all right, for sure. And also the fact that suddenly, after I contacted my brother and told him the Whaaaaat will was illegal, he already knew it was, okay? But the problem for him is he's already used it. I have proof of that from my bank. So there's no way he's going to escape that and try to walk over to the Whaaaaat will suddenly to escape a possible criminal charge for committing fraud with a will he knew was no good, to simply steal the estate. That's a crime. You see, this is the other thing, folks. I wish to indicate that my lawyer, I told my lawyer, Mr. Mullowney, I looked up on Google under estates, okay, acts that are criminal, okay, that are actually criminal, not civil. And my brother already committed, from what I could see, he's committed crimes against the estate already. Like, this is, okay, now my lawyer knew this. Okay, he's supposed to be representing me. But any evidence against my brother, anything, my lawyer hasn't pursued at all. He hasn't pursued it. He didn't make any calls to the court to advise them that my brother's committed crimes regarding the estate. My lawyer has been protecting my brother. That's what he's been doing. That's what I accuse you of, Mr. Mullowney. Of course, it'll be up to the Supreme Court of Canada to make that determination. But here's the other point I wish to make, and this is the reason why I'm pulling this small video up. Here for 8 months, my lawyer, Mr. J.L. Lee Mullowney, is singing this tune repeatedly that he can't give me advance because he's not executor. Okay? Now, here's the point. I am executor. Was executor all along. And Mr. Mullowney and I had a binding legal agreement as one party, legally, going after my end of the estate. So what I'm saying here is legally, it didn't matter whether I was executor, trustee, or Mullowney was. The fact of the matter is, in either case, and because we're legally bound together on behalf of me. In other words, Mr. Mullowney was on my side and was supposed to reflect actions to protect my part of the estate, okay? The fact that this being the case, okay? So what Mr. Mullowney essentially said was, because you're executor and trustee, Daniel, I'm not giving you an advance. But if I'm executor, I'll give you an advance. You see? So if I was executor and trustee or he was executor trustee, it doesn't matter because we're both one. We're both together in the matter. Okay? Now, I'm going to be reporting this to the Supreme Court of Canada. I swear to you, scumbags hacking my Wi-Fi who've been blocking me from reporting to the SCC, you're going to be in trouble. bad trouble. Okay? And I'm going to say to the public, I spoke with the SCC yesterday. They were very kind. And the fact that my emails to them are being blocked, because the lady at the SCC, the employee there, told me on the phone that I'm supposed to get an auto response every time I send them an email. I told her, no, someone is blocking my emails from getting to the court, and I'm letting you know. Then she said to me, well, email us. And the reason why she said that is because I told her that I went into the park to send them emails a month or so ago, and I did get auto responses in the park. So this means that it is someone here through the Wi-Fi system of this owner of this property and his hotel across the street that has been blocking my emails from getting to the Supreme Court of Canada. And the Supreme Court believes me. Okay, that's going to be a big problem. My lawyer is also telling me, don't go to the Supreme Court. Well, there's nowhere else for my wife and I to go. There's nowhere else. The Supreme Court is the last action by my wife and I. It is the last place we can go. It's the only place that my wife and I can deal with this. The whole thing. So again, I say to the public that, for 8 months, almost 8 months, my lawyer gave me the excuse that he could not give me an advance because he was not executor. Now, when he was pulling the wool over my eyes, he knew I was executor already and trustee. So what he did for almost 8 months, he declined to accept my legal position as executor trustee by lying and deceiving me. That's what he was doing. Now, all of a sudden, yesterday, he sends me an email, my former attorney, saying to me, well, Daniel, I want to get this done. I want to get this, we got to take this to the court so the judge can make orders. I want to get this done as quickly as possible. This is the garbage he's spewing. The reason why he's gone into emergency mode is because he knows that the Supreme Court may come after him too. Okay, I'm going to go after him on this legally. I am. Okay, this guy was backing up my brother all along. Okay, now I will tell the public, based on the past, my wife and I technically, they would not let us get a lawyer. Technically. Okay, you have to understand that the government would only allow us to have access to an attorney who would work for them. Okay, an attorney who would go against the Supreme Court application. Okay, an attorney who would threaten my estate. Okay, if I dared tell the government repeatedly I'm filing in the Supreme Court against what they did to my wife and I in the past. Okay, the only time my wife and I are allowed help is by this organized criminal syndicate. Okay. We're not allowed to go and seek out our own attorney. We're not even allowed to go and get our own apartment. They keep blocking us from getting into a decent building because they need us here. Okay, they need us in a gangster part of Ottawa in order to effectively hack us and block our right of appeals. And so what I'm saying to the public is this, based on past experiences, enough of them to prove it. Mr. Mullowney was selected for us by those who wanted to keep things secret. That's what happened. Okay? That's exactly what happened. There is no way that Canada would allow my wife and I to hire an attorney on a percentage basis over our case against the government. I have videos in here of the evidence regarding that matter. There's no way. The only lawyer my wife and I, or excuse me, me for that matter, the only attorney I was allowed was one approved by the organized criminal syndicates on Parliament Hill and on the streets. Only a lawyer that's in with them. And Mr. Mullowney has proved to me now for 7 months, okay? He's lied to me, okay? He has damaged the estate. He has damaged me emotionally because of my dear mother. And if you want to see her picture, it's right here. I'll show it to you. This is my mom. See? That's her. Isn't she beautiful? got a big smile on her face. It's her birthday. And I look at that picture every day. And I tell my mom, Mom, you and I know the truth. And soon the Supreme Court will know the truth also. And my mom will finally remove my brother from trying to overpower her finances as he's been doing for 50 years almost. And we're finally going to stop him from still controlling my mother. Okay? My brother admits in this document here, and I forget to mention this one here. I showed it before. Get a load of this. He says down here, this is typical. He says, I stood down from having your number removed from Mom's allowed incoming calls. And she has expressed you're much better on the phone. Now, you and the public need to understand something. That's not true. I'm going to tell you another story. According to my mom's friend, who's helped us with this matter, my brother made an allegation against me. He says he has it recorded with my mom after we left her home, after he had us kicked out illegally by the police. The police knew he was abusing her, by the way. I make an allegation against the Niagara Falls Police Department in Niagara Falls, Ontario. You knew for a long time that this guy was raping my mother of all her money and stealing her cards. You knew of his violent behavior, Niagara Falls Police. You knew about Hunter, his ex-girlfriend, running across the street with a knife, threatening to kill him because of what he apparently did to this Hunter's daughter's baby. This is the rumor going around Crystal Beach, okay? So the police are very much involved in Niagara Falls of covering up my brother's many crimes against my mother, which I have right here in this box. Written notes by her. Facts in her own handwriting. And her handwriting can be matched. Okay? Now, according to my brother, my wife and I tried to coerce my mother into being her caregivers. This is what he's talking about. We have somewhere here the application to be her caregivers. This was actually suggested by the Department of Social Services. They had made the suggestion to us that we could be her caregivers. They gave us a form for her to fill out, okay? And we presented that idea to her, all right? And my mom said, no, I don't want to do this because I don't want to lose Marlene. You know, and I absolutely agreed with her. You know, we agreed with her, no problem. You know, it's simply social services had made the offer. The social worker had made the offer and sent us the application. We have it here, it's blank. That's what happened. Okay. Now, you know, what's interesting here, and I'll explain this again, my lawyer knows of these notes I have here of diaries of my mom in her own handwriting, desperately on anything she can write on. My brother's abuse of her, criminal abuse. My lawyer, you know, he's just not interested in that. He doesn't seem to care whether he gets that information or not. You know? Why is he being like that? Because he's in with my brother. We got two guys here at the end of my brother's insult in his text message to me yesterday, because he also texted me. He said, you're mentally ill. Now, my lawyer said that twice to me these several months. Now, when I was on my phone with my attorney yesterday, my wife came out. And she, you know what she said to him? Well, essentially what she said, you're trying to sucker my husband. You're trying to sucker him. And you should have heard the silence on Mullowney's end. Here this lawyer tells me on the phone that he got served an affidavit under oath by my brother. Okay. This is what he's saying. Tried to scare me with his affidavit, which I'm not scared of at all. While he is covering up all the evidence of my brother, from my brother. My lawyer, Lee Mullowney, had months, ladies and gentlemen, to report my brother to the court that he was using an illegal will. My brother would have been nailed, okay? My lawyer was told by my mom's best friend, that my mother was abused criminally by my brother, beating her. This person knows this. My lawyer knows about her and knows this. Okay? He knows this. My lawyer was sent a document by me, and I'll get that document out right now. I think it's in here. Like this guy, this lawyer, he's really, I gotta tell you folks something. This guy's really something. My lawyer has been playing both sides of the street, both with Robert Scott and me. That's what this lawyer's been doing. And I tell him, you're going to get it, Mr. Mullowney, when I get this information to the Supreme Court today. It's going to them today. And I'm going to say this to those on this Wi-Fi system here. You try to obstruct me, okay? I've got an application here for the Supreme Court, and I'll write it up by hand, and my wife will take it to them. So either way, Mullowney, you and my brother are through. You're done, okay? Like I said, folks, for 8 months, this lawyer knew already I was executor and trustee. He refused to give me an advance, okay? Because according to him, for 7 months, I was not an executor. Why? Because Mullowney was honoring my brother as executor of the 2016 will all by himself. You see, this is why Mullowney never gave me the advance. He simply made the excuse that he's not executor. Okay, he said, until I'm executor, I can't give you anything. This was his bull that he tried to pull, all right? Because he was illegally and persuasively and deceivably and criminally denying me what he knew I already had, and that is executor trusteeship of the Bonifant will, in which case, under those terms, and considering we were both legally one, fighting for the estate, and Mr. Mullowney had all the legal right to give me an advance. So, next question, what was his motive? Well, Mr. Mullowney's motive all along was to see that I don't get anything. And, you know, perhaps, maybe, and I can't be sure of this, create such a big bill on my end, okay, that I don't see a cent. I did request today Mr. Mullowney supply me with a copy of his billing. And I also requested of him a copy of the entire file, including information about my brother's former attorneys, the letter that he received from my brother's, not this last attorney, the one before, who sent my lawyer a letter telling him my brother approached him about going to the court and having him appointed executor and trustee of the entire estate, stating there was no will. Mr. Mullowney's holding on to this evidence. It would appear that, and I say this to the SCC, it appears, Your Honors, and I say this to the SCC, I direct this to Justice Richard Wagner, it would appear, Mr. Chief Justice, that my lawyer is going to refuse to hand over evidence against my brother for the use, Mr. Chief Justice, in your court. Okay? I say to you, and this is to Chief Justice Wagner, Justice Wagner, my lawyer's been protecting my brother. Okay? And Your Honors, I will send the court diligently the written notes of my mother's diary of what my brother did to her. Okay? And the fact that she wrote these notes down after he assaulted her when he left the room. Okay? And my mom's best friend is too scared to testify. She made me promise that she would not be called because she's 83 and elderly, Your Honors. She lives by herself, and I'm very worried for her safety. Okay? And that's why she's very scared of my brother, extremely scared of him retaliating against her, and he would. So I'm letting the court go through here, and but I will formally tell the court her name, okay? And maybe, I say to the Supreme Court, maybe she would be willing to talk to a judge formally and give a statement. Okay? Maybe. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't think she will. She told me on the phone the other day she's stressed out from all this. It's causing her a lot of stress and a lot of worry, and she's elderly, and I really don't want to have to involve her. But she did send me all these documents. There's proof of that. She sent me the diaries of my mom's, okay, of my brother assaulting her and her financially. I've got a photo here, Your Honors. I'll send it to the Supreme Court by email. One of many handwritten by my mom about what my brother did to her. See, you've been getting blocked from me by Mullowney and my brother and the organized criminal syndicate here in Vanier. That's been blocking my emails to you. This is what's been going on. Mr. Mullowney told me yesterday, Supreme Court, that I can't appeal to the Supreme Court over this. He started that routine. And all of a sudden, he wanted to move very, very quickly, Your Honors, to settle this matter. Okay? Because he's been caught, and that's why. So I think it prudent to get information to the registry as quickly as possible. That's what I'm going to do. Shalom, God bless, have a wonderful day, and thanks again. I believe that my video should be opened up to the public, but you see, the government of Canada are the ones responsible for these actions against me using Mullowney and my estate. So naturally, once again, they're only going to allow a very limited number of public to see these videos. I want them out in the open, where all of the public can see them. And Simon Wiesenthal's Center's reception telling me she tried to access my videos and couldn't find them. Mr. Trudeau, do you want to explain that? Mr. Prime Minister? Either way, Mr. Prime Minister, you're in with Mullowney and my brother, okay? And you're going to be answering as well for the other things and this estate matter. Shalom. God bless.